This is 4TW Live for October 30th, 2014. Episode 7, DC vs. Marvel Cinema. Welcome to 4TW Live. I am Admiral Joker. Joining me this week is Chris Cardi Kovacs.
What's up, man?
And Mario Cryonova Benegas.
Hey.
Live.
How you guys doing today? Radio. You guys ready for Halloween tomorrow?
Yeah, man. I want a lot of candy so I can rot my teeth out. And also, actually, I'm sorry. I got to be honest with you. I believe there is such thing as the Great Pumpkin.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's actually Chris in a big orange shirt running through the streets, but we don't talk about that.
Listen, man, you're not supposed to sing nothing about kids might burn buttons.
Sorry. Never mind. It's the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, the great fat ass me. Anyway, continuing.
I'm sort of, getting ready for Halloween, sort of.
This is Halloween. Yeah,
I love the horror movies and everything about Halloween's a lot of fun, man. I love it.
Chris is actually been coming over to my house tomorrow. We're going to do a horror movie marathon.
Hell yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
And that message is brought to you by Pringles, one of the best potato chips you could ever... I'm sorry. I just had to...
No, I'm a bigger fan of Baked Lays myself or Sun Chips. But
4TW would like to say that we are not in any way affiliated with Pringles chips. That was just a joke.
Although if they want to, you can contact us at 4TWnetwork.com.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yes. We are not averse to good snack foods.
Fuck, yeah. And speaking of snack foods, let's talk about the Wii U.
I don't know how that segue, but...
Best segue 2014.
Worst segue ever.
Oh, man. Whatever.
So, Nintendo recently had a earnings report come out, and many people were expecting it to be not so good. Estimates were it was actually going to be quite down. They were actually thinking it was going to be I think they were supposedly going to lose several $million. Turned out they were actually up about $224 million, which is actually 24.2 billion yen for this quarter.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Yes. Nintendo cited a few... this is from Ars Technica, by the way. Nintendo has cited a few titles in driving the financial turnaround, mainly Smash Bros. For the 3DS, which has sold 3.2 million copies worldwide, which is amazing considering it's only been out since, September?
Yeah. And it's a portable game system.
And it's a portable game system, yeah. So, yeah. The DS has always been kind of, their go-to, so it's not surprising. Also, Tamagotchi Life also sold an additional 1.27 million copies as well in the last 6 months. On the Wii U side, Nintendo noted that Mario Kart 8 has continued to show steady sales. No big surprise there. Following its $2.82 million debut last quarter. And Hyrule Warriors has gained popularity following its Western release. Perhaps tellingly, the company didn't release specific details about the two Wii U titles. On console hardware, Nintendo has sold just over 600,000 Wii U units worldwide in July through September, pushing the system to 7.29 million units overall since 2012. That puts it at a base roughly on par with that of the Xbox One.
Probably a little higher. Microsoft is roughly in the 6 million, but yeah, it's roughly on par, maybe a hair higher than Microsoft.
So let's skip to the end. The 3DS has been slowing down a little bit, but then again, the new 3DS is coming out, or already out in Japan.
So I'm waiting for.
So we already know that's happened. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic level a little hot, but so we already know that's out. So big surprise there. So
I think a slight interjection. I don't mean to interrupt like that, Matthew. I think Mr. Iwata just finally resumed back to his duties at Nintendo of Japan. I think he just stated today that There's not an exact date for the new 3DS to come out in
No.
the US as of yet, only because I believe they're trying to hit from what he said, they're trying to hit an actual sales target in the US sales, I guess, right now. So I guess he's kind of saying, well, need to wait a little while longer because we need the sales
okay
to
with
pick up
that.
a little more to justify that.
Yeah, we don't need another
Yeah.
3DS already.
Not really, and I've seen the differences. My son was very interested in it, and we looked at the specs. Yeah, there's a few nice things, more memory, screen is a little better, but there's really not that much of a difference. To
It
be
is a new
perfectly
console.
honest. I mean, it is technically a new console, but it's pretty
Or a new
much just
platform,
a
rather.
slightly. It's a slightly enhanced version of the current 3DS.
It's the Wii to the Nintendo. It's the Wii to the DS's GameCube.
Basically, yeah, exactly. It's really I would say performance wise, it's not that much of a jump.
Now,
It's not a significant.
are
jump.
you guys surprised by this news that Nintendo's rebounding?
Nope.
No,
Not at all.
not really at all. I had kind of saw it since Mario Kart 8. Sales were picking up steadily. Obviously not as high. Obviously not as high as other people who view the market as, well, if they're not doing as good as Sony, well, whatever Nintendo does is news, but it's not big news for them. For me,
Right.
I say it's good news. It's not over ecstatic news, but it's good news. Finally for them.
Well, being a Nintendo fanboy, I'm always happy to see Nintendo doing well, especially since the big AAA titles haven't come out yet. We don't have a Zelda game. We have had a Mario game, but we didn't have a Zelda game, which usually sells really well. And Smash Brothers isn't even out yet.
And I think by what the videos have shown from Smash Brothers, I mean, Smash Brothers right now is either going to really push some consoles, at least on the Wii U side, because it was interesting on how the 50 facts or the 53 facts of Super Smash Bros. Went. In that video, they always said, in the 3DS version, you can do this. But on the Wii U version, you can do this times 10 in this case. It's like if you thought the 3DS version was good, granted it's great for portability, but that's just to get you to practice. Wait till you get the Wii U version.
Well, we've always said that Nintendo's biggest draw was the fact that they concentrate on games, which is something that Microsoft has started to abandon, and Sony finally, Sony actually came back to that focus with the PS4. But now, Mario, you played what is probably the best title. Some are considering one of the best titles of the year. Period.
Yes.
On any
platform.
Yes.
Yes.
Bayonetta 2. What do you
Oh
think?
boy. Well, I'm not done with the game as of yet. I'm on, what is it, chapter 14? I think it has 17 chapters in total. What can I say about it? I love the first Bayonetta game. Just a bit of backtrack with it. When the first game came out, what I absolutely loved about it was simply it was a change of pace. Simply that at the time, I know we were used to like God of War. We were used to a lot of Gears of War, Uncharted, and such. We were definitely used to a lot of a lot of the male protagonists and the extra testosterone that that a lot of us liked. It was a nice change of pace to see. Well, one, it's a woman, but not just a woman, who was done a little bit half-ass. It was a woman that definitely was done very empowering, very, very dominatrixy style, I guess you want to say. So when Bayonetta 2 came out, and obviously on now Wii U exclusive, I was one of the crowd that said, awesome. I was absolutely hoping for a sequel. As the game itself, it's as lightning fast as the first game is. Yeah, it's definitely a little titillating. It's definitely very. Here's what I can basically say about one of the main concerns about the game is some people say, well, I'm a little uncomfortable because it's a little too hyperly sexualized. In my experience so far playing the game, that's more down to, I guess, just the way the cameraman. It's an awesome, functioning, fast-paced game. It takes strategy, it takes patience, it takes a lot of dexterity to play it. And I guess the only slight downfall is we have a slightly pervy camera guy.
No.
in the game. The voice acting's great. The story plot you can sort of do a little bit without it. You don't have to pay attention too much to it. But everything else about it, graphics look wonderful, look way better than the first game. I love all the Easter eggs that they're putting into it. I just unlocked the Link costume, which looks just looks awesome on her. The Princess Peach outfit just looks
Wow.
wrong. The Princess
Princess
outfit,
Peach outfit? Oh
yes,
my God.
it just looks wrong on her because they try to modify it for her body type, but you're thinking,
Whoa.
I mean, Princess Peach can only
Okay.
pull off the look.
Oh, I gotta see this, Matt. You gotta pull.
It's
I know
on the
you're.
stream. It's on the stream now.
Yeah, I figured you were. I
It's
see
already
you
on the stream.
delay.
And
The
they have
game-
a Samus Aran one too.
Yeah, they have Samus. They also have Fox McCloud on top of that, which is interesting when you play as Fox McCloud. I haven't done it yet. I don't have enough currency to buy it, but
Oh
it
my God.
alters something in one of the stages.
She looks like a stripper, dude. Like a doll
Dude,
stripper.
seriously?
Oh my God.
Okay, furry alert, furry alert, furry alert,
alert.
Oh my God. She
Big-
looks.
Oh man.
furry alert.
She looks like a fucking.
Well, she looks like a stripper normally.
I mean, that's still funny as hell, but
But that's just best.
I'm pretty sure that Sarkeesian or whatever her name is would probably be offended by this game.
oh, I'm sure.
Quite possibly. I mean, this game has been. You know, I gotta say, it's interesting. This game has
We're
been
not, by
rated.
the way, here at 4TW, we're not going to talk about Gamergate. Not going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's just stupid.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Anyway, sorry, Mario. Go on. there?
Mario,
Mario.
you got disconnected.
It's a Mario.
You got disconnected, Matt. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear him.
Yeah, it says there's a problem with this call.
Okay.
It could be his connection because remember
Let me
he's
call
having
him
a problem
back.
with the
Let
internet.
me call him back.
Fucking internet. Technical difficulties.
Are we guys back?
There
Yeah.
we go.
There he is.
Live,
Right
people.
house.
We're live.
Once again.
Anyways, yeah, it's okay. I tried to pull up the Bayonetta site and it started playing the trailer music. I'm like, turn off sound for Mozilla. So,
But overall wise, I give the game a very good score of that. They kept the combat tight as it is.
did it come
Uh,
with the
very
first
s-
game?
It comes with the first game for $60. You get the first game with additional Nintendo Easter eggs on top of that. You didn't get in the original first game, and the second game, obviously, with the Easter eggs, you get there too on top of that. So the game, I gotta say, it will punish you for the slightest wrong miscalculations, but it rewards the heck out of you when you kind of strive over that and say, I'm going to get pure platinum. I'm going to try to fight all these next set of battles, I guess, without taking one hit, because now I know how the combat works. I now know what weapons I can use and such. I guess to say it's just it's a good action game genre, which we haven't had a good action game genre in a while.
No.
That's true.
So
we
as
really
enough to
haven't.
say, I'll nominate this game to say is a game of the year, just based off an action game. I'll put it up for one of the nominees. I won't say I'm going to even want to say I'm not going to put it all for grabs to say it's just full blown game of the year.
Famitsu gave it a 38 out of 40. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
I
I would say
yeah,
Destructo, I gave it some good scores. Polygon, I believe, was the only one that gave it a 75 out of 100.
GameSpot gave it a 10 out of 10. That means that Nintendo ponied up money to pay him off. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they must have did it to several websites. A lot of websites gave them like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm glad. Nintendo needed to show support from third party, and this is it's an exclusive, but it is a third party game. I think Platinum Studios developed it. And I think Sega's the actual publisher.
Sega's the publisher, and Platinum Studios is the one that made it.
Yep.
So it shows Nintendo's
Go
commitment Sega. It shows Nintendo's commitment to third party, something that a lot of people said that they've lacked as of.
Well, you know what? They want third party that's good. They don't want recycled
No.
shit.
No.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We
You know.
talked
Or it's
about
like-
before. You don't want the Call of Duty
Yeah.
fatigue bullshit.
Yeah, or enough to
exactly.
say, hey, if Infinity Ward has a group of guys that want to work on a totally different project that's not a first-person shooter, Well, why not let them? Why not let them work on a project with Nintendo?
By
I
the
mean,
way, the
you know?
Wii U games run at 60 frames at 1080p. Can
This
you say
game-
that about the Xbox 360 or
Exactly.
the
This
or the
this game
PS4?
runs
No.
silky smooth throughout the most amount of animations and special effects I've seen it. Silky smooth game.
Which is why, if you saw the preview for, well, YouTube is now doing the 60 frames per second video. If you notice, what they use to really show it off is Nintendo streaming, like Mario Kart 8, Bayonetta 2, and it's because of that, because that 1080p
Porn.
60 frames. I mean, it's like eye porn. It's it's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah,
for
is it a
Nintendo.
good recommended game? I say yes. I mean, if you like action games, give it a shot. If you feel a little uncomfortable that it gets a little too, a little too TNA, a little too eye candy, well, I mean that's your preference. But still, overall, it shouldn't shy you away to try out a great game.
Yeah, true that.
Switching gears,
Hmm.
we are all cell phone users, and we're big proponents of net neutrality
Yep.
here at 4TW. Probably one of the biggest bullshit lies any cell phone provider has ever given you is
Oh, yeah.
the lies, all lies of unlimited data.
Ever
Yes,
since
we'll give you
Man.
unlimited data. We just don't tell you it's not unlimited speed.
and it's ever since I worked for Altel, and I got to work behind the scenes for years, seeing the inner workings, like how cell phone industry works. And yeah, this is no surprise. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm surprised this wasn't brought up before.
It
I mean,
has.
come on, it kind of has, but like, people should really pay attention to the underlining definitions of shit, because yes, it says unlimited data, but it also does say that they basically throttle it once you reach to a certain point. It doesn't say it like in bold letters, because people
What's
in
it
society don't want to take responsibility. So if we don't make
Okay.
things way out in the open for them, and they have to do something called reading, God forbid. It's all. That's the only defense I have for AT&T. By the way, that's it.
Here's my problem.
I know what their scheme is.
Yeah.
I know what they're trying to do. It's a scheme, but that's my only defense, is that people just need to read the underlining shit and not just believe the first thing they see on the cover.
The thing is, the FTC is actually going after AT&T right now, saying they have misled millions of customers with unlimited data promises.
That's true.
That they find that AT&T, after you go over about 2 gigabytes of data, can throttle you from anywhere around 80 to 90% of your speed.
Wow.
And that's
8290.
the difference between what AT&T is doing and what other companies are doing. Because other companies,
Verizon knocks you down to like 10%, I
Right.
think, 20.
right? And I think that's what makes it different.
You're
That's why
still
they're
like
going,
1.5 meg,
Right.
I think, is what you're going to be limited to, somewhere around
Right.
there.
But that's why they're going after AT&T, is right there what you just said, that huge throttling amount, and the fact that they don't really give you a definition of how far they're going to throttle it down. Where other
No.
companies like T-Mobile, Sprint, even Verizon, they will tell you specifically, once you reach certain amount of data, it's unlimited to this point, and then you get 4G speeds, you get 3G speeds. They tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But AT&T never did, and that's
No.
where they fucked up.
And AT&T would throttle you to almost like pre-3G.
So
speed.
edge to edge, dude.
Yeah,
They go
you get forced to edge, which was what
Oh, which is-
regular GSM.
Oh yeah, it's terrible, man. It's like you can't even pull up normal web pages.
Yeah.
It's like my source of Metro. I usually get like 1X, it says, or EV or EV.
oh, you're on
What- what's-
EVDO.
what's
oh,
what is
snap,
that?
man?
Well, that's
I just-
because he's on T-Mobile's. Well, they're switching. Metro's a different story, but Metro is going to get better because they're moving them to. Because I don't know if you know anything about Metro, but Metro PCS, their backbone to begin with, before they made any deals with T-Mobile, their backbone was mainly their own shit, and then another percentage of it was. Markets that
Verizon.
they got from Verizon that the Verizon couldn't keep per the Altel merger, and also the other parts of it, small parts, are Sprint. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is Metro, not to go too off topic, but Metro owns a lot of their own shit. But now with the T-Mobile thing, they're now adding onto their network, so it's going to get kind of dicey.
Well, it's going to be a lot of upgrading considering Metro, I think, was GSM or CDMA, and T-Mobile's GSM.
T-Mobile was already converting anyway because they're going to LTE, so they're going to do strictly LTE in the next
LTE
couple
advanced.
years. LTE, yeah, which I guess Verizon calls it XT. I figured they were going to do something like that because of copyright.
Do you think this is going to be the beginning of of the end of unlimited data or the restructuring of how data plans work? I mean, T-Mobile's already made a deal with what? You can stream music unlimited amount, or it won't count against your data cap?
Yeah, who's got the deal with Netflix? Is that T-Mobile? Or is that AT&T?
I don't know who does.
AT&T.
I don't know.
I think it's AT&T that has somebody has a deal where if you stream Netflix through their service, it's unlimited. I don't know who it is, but somebody. But you're right. It's definitely going to change the structure of how we know data. It's already has been. Let's be honest. I mean, it's slowly been worked on in the background. I mean, with Mario, have you been told anything? How long have you had Metro for, by the way?
2 years.
Okay, I had Metro for a couple of years as well. I switched to
every phone company.
Shut up! I currently have Cricket, which is formerly AIO.
How is that one?
Very good, because it's on the AT&T backbone, and it's just like AT&T service, and it's phenomenal. Their LTE service is on par. Everything is. What'd you say?
I got a Note 4.
Oh, fuck you. Well, you could still get, like, good phones through...
You get a Note 4 on Cricket? You're going to pay $800 for it, but you can get it.
Yeah, you're going to pay basically, like, $500. Yeah.
I mean, that's what reminds me with Metro. It's like I just noticed that their phones go from you can pay $10 or you pay $700. I'm starting to notice Metro has no mid-range phones.
Well, this is why they do it. Just to give you a quick summary, and this is for people listening if they're ever curious, why does Metro do that? Well, to give you kind of a layman's explanation, as most people know, like cell phone services, especially now, they're kind of moving into the next and the, where you pay monthly and you get this deal where, you basically pay almost nothing for like this $500 phone. Mm-hmm. That's because everything is based on almost a guarantee that you're going to have that service for so much amount of time. And if you cancel, then you're basically going to have to pay them the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And that sort of goes in the same lines with old school contract deals. Now with Metro and with Cricket, they do more of basically just the service side of it. So you save the money on the service side of it, but then that also means you got to pay out of pocket basically for a phone if you want a good one. So that's the difference.
You got to remember, a cell phone in reality a new cell phone costs anywhere between $600 to $800.
Exactly.
You're that $200 you're paying for the rest of the phone over the lifetime of your contract.
Pretty much.
And
that's why Metro and these other companies get away with the new contracts, is because of the fact that they don't subsidize their phones. Where AT&T,
it's all subsidized.
Verizon, and everybody else does.
That's perfect.
They subsidize their phones. Like I found out with Next, I pay a monthly fee for my phone for 18 months, but my access fee is only $20. Where normally, if I spent the $200 to get the phone, I'd have to pay $40 per line instead. So but it evens out.
Yeah. But tell them, it evens out because in the end, you're still really paying the same. It's just moving around money, where the money goes. That's all it is. It's just moving around where it goes.
Which is fine for me. I don't really care too
works
much.
for a lot of people, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Next is actually a pretty nice deal.
Yeah, they copied T-Mobile. T-Mobile was the first. They did I forget what it's called. But One or some shit. Yeah, where you can... Yeah, anyway, every company's doing it now. Verizon does it. AT&T. Or is it
like contractless, or they call it, or something?
I forget. I had it. Now it's totally slipping my mind right now. But yeah, that's like the new thing now, and I think that'll stick around for a long time. And to kind of roll that back into the topic at hand, it also identifies the fact that there is a need for data. That's why there's so many smartphones that are given out. So data is becoming more. I mean, everyone needs data now. Even if you don't use the data features,
Jump.
you're still using it. Jump. That's
Jump.
the name of it. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's the T-Mobile. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's honestly it's becoming a point now where you need data, and companies understand that. But here's what I want to throw this question out to you guys, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I know a lot about this from the back end side. So as a consumer, from your experiences with smartphones and data,
Okay.
do you think that we will see a point where they will say, okay, you pay us, I'm just throwing a number, $20 a month and no limits at all, no capping, nothing, unlimited. Will you be able to see that in the coming
No.
future?
Not in America.
Maybe not that low.
Not in America. Not in America.
Because
Well,
here,
Well, here's
Now, are you talking about
let me
all
add in
carriers, or like
Hold on,
one
though.
carrier will do it, or maybe one or two?
Well, I should have said, let me just get a solid answer, yes or no, from me, and then let me add something else to the equation now, okay? Now, take into the fact that, I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of the services, AT&T, even Metro, if you notice, they have, I guess you can call it bloatware, but they have services they install on the phones that will automatically switch your services to they call certified LAN or hotspots. To where once you're on the hotspot, it's like doesn't count against your data.
Right,
Whatever.
I get adware on my phone.
Well, the thing about that is it's supposed to help you in saving on your data. But here's the catch, though, and this is, I think, part of what AT&T got in trouble is they were kind of like using that as a way to say, technically, it is unlimited.
It's kind of like
know what
this
I mean?
bullshit that Verizon keeps trying to do by saying we have broadband pretty much everywhere. LTE is broadband, and the government's like, no, it's not.
No, it's
because
not.
you cap
No, it
it.
ain't.
You cap it.
Exactly.
That's not broadband. You only get 5-10 gigs. No, that's not broadband.
And I hate to tell you guys,
Fuck you.
and here's
That's
another
not broadband,
shocker.
Verizon. Give me fucking
Hey.
FiOS.
And guys, this shouldn't be a shock to you, but you know
Sorry.
something? No, it's fine. Here's another little fact that they don't like to talk about. When you look at other countries, South America, Asia, China, other countries that they're already, some of them are up to like 5G connection speeds now. They actually don't have caps. And guess
No.
why? Because you don't need them. The fact is, these companies are creating these caps on purpose.
No.
Because they want
is we're putting money
Yeah.
on intangible things. We've
Thank
talked
you.
about this.
Exactly.
We talked about this, I think, on
It's
Gaming
bullshit.
Politics once.
Yeah, and it's bullshit. It's another way for the FCC, by extension our government, to control and put a dollar sign and get money out of people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fucked up. It really is.
Enough is enough, people. We need
Stop trying
real-
to charge us for the internet. Damn it.
Well, no,
You know-
I'm okay with having to pay for the internet because there is
No, I
up
mean,
cost,
like,
upkeep
You know,
needed.
above what the normal.
But
is what I'm
quit
saying.
charging me more money for speed when in reality it is an intangible thing. You don't
It
have
is,
to
yeah.
dedicate more resources to me.
Nope.
And they say there's a finite amount of data available for cell sites and things like that. Yeah, but not everybody's going to be streaming YouTube and Netflix 24/7 off these connections.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's
Plus,
not
they
gonna
do
happen.
something. Plus, they have what's called. Damn it, and I forgot the name of the
Clause?
technical term. Well, there's a term that it doesn't matter what the
Traffic
term
shaping?
is. Yes, thank you. Well, that's part of it. But there's a term that they use in the wireless industry. But basically, it's traffic shaping, and it's where they'll move you on purpose to other towers periodically to try to balance out the
load balancing. Multiplexing.
Right. So multiplexing is a big thing.
Well, not multiplexing, but I know the.
Right.
I'm
There's
sorry,
a
that's
there's
gonna
a
mess
term specifically for it. Doesn't matter. The point
Yeah.
is they do this because they know that there are some towers that are out in BFE that usually get a lot of traffic when it's during the day, people drive by, it's the interstate, but there's not a whole lot of residential houses near there, so there's not a constant usage, just only during certain hours. So what do you do? Like, how do you balance that between a tower like that and, say, a tower in the middle of, like, a busy subdivision, right? And that's how they do it. And that's why, and that justifies why they should not have to, to be honest, they shouldn't have to cap it, or for that matter, charge extra for capping it. I mean, or going beyond the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's all a
crazy.
bunch of bullshit, man.
It is. It's a runaround.
Well, it could
My
be
gosh.
worse. You could start the world's largest LAN party and get your ass thrown out.
Yeah, which that brings us in the next topic. Good segue, Matt.
So, yeah, smooth. Be more
Smooth.
smooth if they didn't make it obvious.
Well,
So,
biggest LAN party. Oh
Dream,
boy.
Curse, you've talked about DreamHack before.
Yes, I'm very familiar with this. For
It's
some
in
people,
Sweden or something.
it's in Sweden. It's held
The
annually.
temperature for LAN, LAN.
Stop being
Tick
racist.
our gerb.
But here's the thing: DreamHack is what CPL used to be back in the day, which CPL was Cyber Professional League, Cyber Athlete Professional League, and basically it's a huge fucking LAN that has. We're talking big money. We're talking thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of prize money. And it's all for usually, right now it's Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, League of Legends, and so on. And I think even there's possibly one other game I'm not thinking of. But the point is, DreamHack it's the world's biggest LAN. It's held in Sweden twice a year, once during summer, once during winter. And it's just funny that the fucking CEO gets kicked out because... I was reading a little bit about it, and
It looks like that
it's a
he
power
and his
struggle.
there was a power struggle.
yeah.
He didn't like where they wanted to take it.
Yeah.
I think that he may be the reason, unofficially, from what I somewhat can extrapolate from the article. He's the reason why the MPL deal or MLG game or MLG deal has not gone through yet.
Which that's another topic. MLG, by the way, for those who don't know, Major League Gaming,
Yeah.
huge,
And ESL, the Electronic Sports League,
which is Intel's baby, and honestly, yeah, that deal hasn't gone through, and it should have, and
Yeah.
that goes down to poor management. And to be honest, this has been kind of a rumor that there was some inner turmoil for like a while.
yeah,
So
this
this
I
is
think
expensive.
he's afraid. To be honest, I think he's kind of had a Dave Chappelle moment. I
Yeah.
think his problem is it's getting big. It is big. It's the world's largest LAN. By the way, if I ever start a LAN party, I'm going to call it the Big Fucking LAN. and that's going to be the BFL. If I
Yeah,
ever do a
BFL.
LAN party, it's going to be called the BFL, Big Fucking LAN.
Big fucking
So,
land.
so I think it's kind of, it's getting big. He doesn't want it to get like that, but the other people, the other investors, the other people behind the scenes are like, we want this. We want to expand the brand. It's
Exactly.
a brand. And he's like, no, I don't want this. I like it the way it is. And the other people are like, fuck you.
You know what it is, dude? It's this Swedish
You go join
mentality.
Go
They
to
like
IKEA and sit in go
See-
get lost in an IKEA.
the Swedish mentality I'm talking about is a lot of Swedes, not saying all, but a majority of them feel like they like to keep everything in-house and they don't really like to make a bunch of noise. They're very much to themselves. So when
That explains
this
an
whole
IKEA.
thing blew up, I mean, this thing, DreamHack's been going for several years. And it's just over the past couple of years, it's gotten really big.
He's been there
and-
since 2006, so that's been,
Exactly.
what, 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say in 6 of those years, it really started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it used to be a moderately small land. I mean, it was like, if you remember Wasteland, Matt, in Tampa, the most DreamHack used to have was like maybe 150, 200 people. Now they're in the thousands. Now they even have arena setups. They have stages. They have BYOC. They have sponsorships. They even have a convention section just for where game developers could show up and have like a mini E3, kind of show off new equipment, new gaming stuff. So it's kind of a big deal now because it not only helps gamers, but it also helps the sponsors get their shit out there. You know, help pimp their stuff out. So for this guy to be a douchebag and like, oh well, you know,
truth,
let's put
etc. doesn't exist. May DreamHack die an ignorable death. This
like
is the last communication from Boss DH.
Yeah.
He pox in all your houses.
Yeah, and this guy is just, you know what I could
reading Game of Thrones.
Listen, I could see this guy sitting outside in like a 4-table sit that's supposed to be for 4 people outside of Starbucks with his scarf on and it's 80 degrees out. And he's got his, you know, his name of his drink has like 2 paragraphs, okay? And he just gives everyone a shitty look every time you walk by him. That's the guy I could picture in my head. And he's got a book sitting there in front of him, something condescending like, I don't know, like Twilight or some shit.
Well, you know what? It's sad when things like this go down, but you know, it may be better because I know DreamHack wants to expand into our neck of the woods or in our country, so I hope it happens. I really honestly
that was
do.
The other thing too, and this guy doesn't like Americans. That was the other rumor, that he doesn't like the US. And DreamHack, that was their big goal, is once they finished the deal with Major League Gaming and ESL partnership, which that's almost a done deal, they were going to bring DreamHack to the US so we can finally have something of CPL quality back in the US again, which would be so awesome, man. I'm telling you. Can't wait.
Well, the road's eventually going to lead here. So
yeah, it will. It will.
Yeah. Well, roads also lead to Fast and Furious 7 getting a title.
Oh yeah, that's another big thing in movies, man. Holy shit. And
I'm sorry, Mario. Were you going to say something on the other topic? I'm sorry, dude.
No, nothing at all. It was actually good to hear from both y'all there. I mean, the only little thing I was gonna interject a little bit with that was that
sure,
I almost wanted to say, and I'm probably going in the wrong direction with this and all, but it's like when I think of the Major League of Video Gaming, and I look at all of these big events that a lot of people go to, LAN parties and all like fighting games and such. I almost wonder if the CEO in this case kind of viewed it like this. Well, I like to keep it more in house because if this goes a little too big at this point, I think I don't know if it came down to him thinking, I don't know if I want to be the face of this. I like my sports, like actual sports, like football, baseball, whatever. This is kind of like, I don't know.
I don't know. I know where you're going with that, and I can tell you he's definitely all for what esports is. I mean, he's been quoted as saying like he supports the whole movement of, getting rid of that whole stereotype that we can't be considered. But on the flip side, you do bring up one good point. Maybe his kind of like Matt was saying, he Dave Chappelle'd.
Yeah.
His thing, I think, is that he feels that it's not going to be fun anymore. Like
it's going to be a job.
Where you can see it as it's special. It's special because we've got it. We've got it in a little more controlled area. But now if we let this thing go worldwide at this point, how serious is it going to be then taken with regions that may not just like it at all? And not that I'm saying that we won't. I'm hoping we do. Because unfortunately this country's turned into, if it's not on Facebook, if it's not on this, I don't really wish to waste my time too much.
Yeah, that's so sad but true. And and I've had this discussion with Matt a lot, about how I'm so disappointed in how the state of affairs is when it comes to esports in our country is pathetic. We
talked about that on an earlier episode.
Yeah, and yet we snub our noses to people in Europe and saying, "Oh, well, we could do better," but yet we only have in CS:GO two professional teams out of this whole country. In Europe and all these other countries have at least 4 or 5, if not more.
South Korea.
They're fully sponsored. I mean, that just goes to show you that our American mentality of being better than everyone doesn't always work. And I think that the thing is with that this CEO's mentality, I see where he's coming from, but he needs to remember something. It's inevitable.
The big bad Cardi's
This
coming
is yeah, really. The progression of esports as it is now was inevitable. Whether it's going to happen with DreamHack or whether some other land picks up the torch, it's going to happen. So why not go with it and just continue and not have this like, this kind of smug attitude like it's going to ruin the fun. It's not going to ruin the fun. In fact, it's going to bring more fun to more people. That's the whole point of it.
Like I said, I think it's getting big, and that's what he's afraid of.
He's just some people are afraid of that. Yeah. Some people are just afraid of it. Yeah, you're right.
Back on where we were going.
Furious 7.
Fast and Furious 7. It is which will be the
Furious 7 is the official title.
Yes. Yep. It will be, of course, the last one featuring Paul Walker's character, whose name escapes me at this moment. I'm sorry.
It's
He's the non-Vin Diesel character. I know that's bad.
Brian O'Connor.
Brian O'Connor. Right.
Brian O'Connor.
So
you could tell
the names really matter in those movies. Really, it's Vin Diesel and the guy that's not Vin Diesel. That's pretty much how it goes.
That's fucked up, man. Those are good movies. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it. But they have a trailer event coming up where they're going to launch the trailer Saturday,
November 1st.
Yes, November 1st. It's called The Road to Furious 7. I kind of like the title myself.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Furious 6. It's just like the last title was called Furious 6. So
it'll be coming out on the April 3rd of next year. Yep. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Exactly 1 month before the Avengers 2. So I think that's a very smart idea.
We'll talk about that later.
Which we'll talk about that later, but I think that was a smart idea they didn't really have necessarily a choice, and we'll get into that part here.
It's an April release. I would say April releases are usually where you put tentpole films you don't have a lot of faith in, but considering what Captain America freaking did in April, you do realize that the two of the biggest blockbusters of the year were in the dump months.
Exactly. It changed the whole game up.
The whole game's been changed because Captain America did Gamebusters in April, and Guardians outdid that in August. Which is usually the dump month.
Grab a drink real quick.
We're changing the landscape's changing for film, people. It's about damn time. And Fast and Furious will probably make an ass load of money. Furious 7 will make a shitload of money.
Oh, definitely.
Not only because Paul Walker's death, but because the series is actually one of the few instances where the sequels have gotten better than their predecessors.
That's true.
I really, really, really dug Fast 5.
Yeah, you've got. If I need to bring it over for you to borrow it, you need to see
I'll buy
Fast
it.
6.
We got enough movies to watch this weekend. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't mean this weekend. I mean in the future.
I'll check it out. I know it has Statham in it, so sold.
Yeah,
Statham and The Rock sold. But I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be interesting to see, in my opinion. However, there are other movies that I may not be so anxious to check out. We know for a while they're making a new Terminator movie called Terminator Genesis. Yes, that's Genesis with a Y.
With a Y, guys.
Clever. Woo! Well, recently they released some photos of some photos today and yesterday. They released photos of the covers from Entertainment Weekly. Let me put these up on the big screen. And looking over, making it cool. Okay, so you got the Doctor and Jason Clarke, who I'm not too familiar with, playing. Jason Clarke's playing John Connor.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see they put the scar on him. Very throwback to Terminator 1 and 2, or 2, I think. 2. He had the scar.
2.
He actually looks more like the actor in Terminator 2 that played older John Connor. I'll give him credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the doctor's there, but time travel, so timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Wibbly Wobblies. This could be just a
Which-
could be awesome advertisement. He's just in the timeline.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny and ironic and just it's just funny that Matt Smith is in this, okay?
Yes.
And
I have a
yet
feeling he's not going to be in
the
it for long.
Right, but yet the premise for the whole movie is basically this. It's a what if time travel reboot of Terminator 1. Cuz it's supposed to take place like Terminator 1, but what if Sarah Connor, what if she got told about this at a young age instead of when she did in Terminator 1? So she had all these years from like age, I think they said 9 or
9.
something.
Yeah, her dad died, and the T-800 was sent back to essentially raise her.
To raise her, right?
To raise her. So that's why there's an old T-800 or old Arnold in the show or in the movie because that's how they explained it away.
Which is funny they did that because they wanted to figure out a way to make it understandable that Arnold is older.
Yeah.
So that's how they did it.
And
I
we
thought
also
that was pretty
have
funny.
Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor. So we've known that. We announced that actually on an earlier episode of 40W Radio.
Yeah.
Was it Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, or the Dragon Lady, for those that don't know their names that well.
Yep.
Well, good casting choice. I like her. She should fit it fine. And Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. Oh God. What
He's like the worst possible actor you could get.
You killed Die Hard with you killed
Yeah.
a good dated Die Hard, and that movie was shit to begin with, and you made it worse.
I don't like John Courtney. You know what's funny? At first, I
No.
thought I was against Matt on all that, and then I watched it. Here's Matt. I forgot to tell you this. I'm glad we brought this up. I watched that same movie again, the last Die Hard movie, and you finally got in my head with that shit, and I was like, dude, what did he just say? What? And then the whole, Jesus Christ every 5 seconds by Bruce Willis.
He does.
Jesus
He does.
Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus
I
Christ.
thought Jesus was going to appear.
Oh,
I've
man.
heard church sermons that say the word Jesus less.
less than he did in that movie. And you know what, dude? His acting is fucking terrible. I guess I was like most
Willis
people.
or
I was
Courtney or
dumbfounded by
both?
the whole picture, the whole thing. But Courtney
total
specifically, if you just focus in on his acting, like I guess like a lot of people, you're dumbfounded by the action. You just kind of focus in on that and part of the story. But when you really focus in on him as the character, man, he's like dry. He's like he should be a Terminator. He would be perfect because he's a fucking robot. Like you push him and he just sits there and goes,
Kind of looks like Tom Hardy in this one cover.
yeah. I mean, he's a very dry
That's
actor.
being generous.
You know?
Yeah.
The one thing, it's being directed by Alan Taylor, who directed Thor: The Dark World, which I actually enjoyed. So it'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen a trailer. The plot sounds interesting, to say the least, but they kind of Star Trekked it with the reboot
they
route.
retconned the whole thing, and
But
it's just,
we'll see if it's just going to be a complete cluster F or not. There's a
and
pretty
it's a
good
trilogy, bro.
possibility
They said this is going to
Yeah.
be a trilogy. They've already planned.
it's always a trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always a damn trilogy.
It's
Enough with the damn trilogies. I get your point.
Arnold is going to be bald with like having to use like a crutch for one hand, and it was I'll be back.
I'll be back after I go use the bathroom.
So he could change his
I'll be
adult
back.
diaper.
We get it. We get it. You got to pee a lot, Arnold. You have
You
a
are
small prostate.
terminated.
I understand. And then
That's what
Optimus
steroids
Prime
do.
will show up. I warned you. So
Yeah,
robot
that's
chicken
just-
joke,
yeah, I know.
but.
It's funny.
Well,
Ooh.
many of you, if you're watching the show live, probably watch us on Twitch. Twitch.
Such a twitch.
So, but one thing you won't be seeing anymore on Twitch will be people wearing suggestive clothing or inappropriate attire. So you will no longer see shirtless Cardi on Twitch. Thank God for that. He's probably the reason why this was created.
Sorry, guys. I just sometimes I gotta let the boys out.
Yeah. But I do love what they actually wrote for the policy. It's actually pretty funny. Things you don't like when you're viewing. Sexually explicit content and images, or dress appropriately. Nerds are sexy, and you're all magnificent, beautiful creatures. But let's try to keep this a game, shall we? Wear no clothing or sexual suggestive clothing. Wearing no clothing or sexual suggestion clothing, including lingerie, swimsuits, pasties, and undergarments, will most likely get you reported by the community, as well as any full nude torsos, which applies to both males and female broadcasters.
Well, let's be honest, it's mostly female because a lot of females have taken into this whole, I'm playing a video game, look at my boobs, and they get like 20,000.
I got titties. Watch me play games. And really, that's the only reason people watch the damn channel.
Hey, Matt, by the way, real quick, your screen is showing over the...
sorry about that. Thank you. Sorry about that. But you may have a great six-pack, but that's better shared on the beach during a 2-on-2 volleyball game and blasting playing with the boys.
Yeah.
Wow. If it's underbelly hot, if it's unbearably hot where you are and you happen to have your shirt off or a bikini top, then crop your webcam to your face. If the lighting is hot, get fluorescent bulbs, reduce the heat. Xbox One Connect doesn't zoom, move it closer to you, or turn it off. There's always a workaround.
I love that they put that part in there because Xbox One has built-in, streaming capability with using the camera.
We sell T-shirts, and those are always acceptable.
Wow.
They should say no V-necks are allowed because V-necks are just stupid. Get rid of V-necks, people. Come on.
But good for you, Twitch. I'm proud of you. YouTube should do the same thing. It gets insane on YouTube sometimes. You get these women just playing games and literally nothing. I'm like, what the hell, guys? What the hell?
You got legitimate gamers.
You get people bitching about sexualization in video games, and then you got that shit happening.
I was just about to wrap that with you.
Yeah.
And you have people like that. It's like, well,
irony.
Okay, but the irony of that, and yet, no one told her to be broadcasting that in her attire but herself.
It's like, hello,
Mr. wanted.
Hello, McFly.
No, it's like, hello, Mr. Shoe. What are you doing on the other foot?
Hello, McFly. Put some clothes on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's crazy. So I will not be streaming. I will not be doing 4GW full frontal anymore. So
Live XXX edition. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn! Now I have to come up with a new show idea. Crap.
We were just about to do an orgy too. Anyway, moving on.
Speaking of orgies.
You mean to tell me I shaved my bikini bottom for nothing?
I'm sorry, Mario. Wait, you shaved? I waxed mine.
Oh,
I nared that shit. There's a visual for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this Pringle can empty? Because it's about to be full.
Whoa. Speaking of explosions of awesome, one of my favorite games has finally been put out into a modern platform to where I can play it. Two of them, actually. X-Wing and TIE Fighter have finally been re-released by GOG, and they are fully playable, 3D acceleration included, on modern gaming systems.
And this is when PCs. Matt says, thank you, Chris, for finding this for me.
Thank you, Chris, for finding this for me. I probably would have seen it eventually. He just happened to point it to me first. I have been trying to get these fucking games to work for the last year.
Yeah, Matt went as far as building a 1996 type system.
99.
Yeah. He wanted to build like a Windows 98 system so he could run the games. And had a bitch of a time getting, like, what was it, a video card?
The drivers were the problem.
The drivers, right. And now, hallelujah. And this is one of my favorite games, too. Me, my brother, Matt, we used to all play this, a lot.
Oh, well, we played mostly X-Wing versus TIE Fighter because you could do it online.
Oh, the X-Wing Versus. Yeah, that was the first time you could do online. That
Yep.
was
Actually, Gox inked a deal earlier in the week with Disney with Disney Interactive to release LucasArts games. Also coming out is Fate of Atlantis,
Old
Knights of the
Republic
Old
too.
Republic, and Sam
Yeah.
and Max. Some of these have already been out and streamed for a while now. on
Old
Steam.
Republic. I was happy to hear too because I never really got to play it
I have it.
fully. So
The PC
Nice.
version's actually really good.
yeah, that's
Not KOTOR 2, not so much.
that's what I heard. too.
BioWare wasn't involved in KOTOR 2.
Well, yeah.
I think it was Obsidian. But it's great to see these out. They're $10 a piece. So I do my recommendation for the week will be these games. Go get them, especially TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter is considered to be the best space sim ever made. Still.
Yeah, TIE Fighter is awesome. man. You can
Now to play the the 98 versions, which require 3D acceleration, or have 3D acceleration, better graphics and everything, you do need to have a joystick.
yeah, you have to have a joystick.
Can't
No.
half-ass this one.
Nope. But the DOS version, which I think is also included, you can do with the mouse and keyboard. But don't play these games on mouse and keyboard. You're
Yeah.
fucking nuts if you do
The
it.
joystick is the best part about the game. That's the best part.
Oh, yeah, beyond a doubt.
Hands down.
And you could get a cheap one on Amazon. I recommend anything from Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster, yeah.
The best one out there.
Oh,
So.
all right, moving on.
On to next.
You know what? I'm gonna. Do you guys really give a crap about the Noriega suing the makers of Call of Duty and the lawsuit being dropped?
I could give two shits.
Not really.
Okay, we just covered it.
Yeah,
didn't we?
I have a box here, and inside it, no shits are given. So
Okay. I thought it was an interesting article, but in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, fuck the noise. So that happens sometimes. Now, one thing that I think the three of us can agree on was, I don't know, I think you did too, Mario. I loved Man of Steel. Not a very popular opinion at all.
yeah, I like Man of Steel. So
I loved Man of Steel. Mario, what do you think of it?
Sacrilegiously haven't seen it yet. I'm actually trying to get in my library right now.
You need to watch it, man. Man of
Yeah.
Steel was really. I like I like how they have Kevin Costner is in it. He plays a good role. I think the new Superman is
I like Henry
perfect.
Cavill.
Yeah, he's really good.
I'll see if I can watch all this tomorrow. I've got a bunch of stuff to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, seriously.
Get it.
man,
Watch
seriously.
it.
I'm getting
it's
the
good.
the Fast and Furious movies right now too.
Yeah, get them, man. Seriously, definitely worth getting.
Yeah, he's going to Walmart and buying them.
Hmm.
Hey, when Black Friday, I got a lot of the movies on Black Friday because they were on
And who
sale
hooked you
for
up with that deal?
$3 for each Fast and
And
Furious
who
movie.
hooked you up with
Blu-ray.
that?
That was Matt because you told me about it.
I
he
was there.
He was up there and he calls me and says, "Yo, they got a bunch of good movie." Like, and as soon as he said Fast and Furious, because I was waiting until the box set got cheaper, and as soon as he told me it was like $3, $8, I was like, "Yeah, I'm there. I'm there." I was like up there in like
Trust
an
me,
hour.
I'm saving up for Walmart Black Friday. They're gonna move. I restocked my entire movie collection that Black Friday.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I've realized the awesomeness which is Black Friday when it comes to movies
Oh yeah, don't even bother
and
trying
games.
to.
Oh, and games too, by the way.
Oh
Game-
yeah. You know what?
$60 games for like $30.
My mother-in-law got a 70-inch TV for $1,000.
Hell yeah. Anyway,
So they're going to be making a back on topic. They are making a Krypton prequel series. They want to make.
Oh,
This one is
Okay.
actually going to be led by David Goyer, who actually wrote Man of Steel.
Oh.
No word if this is actually going to be a prequel to Man of Steel. I don't know if it is. We'll talk about later whether or not the DC film universe and TV universes will ever cross over. We'll talk about that later in the show.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Goyer. I like Batman Begins. Dark Knight, he didn't really have too much to do with. And his fingerprints were all over Dark Knight Rises.
oh yeah.
Blade 1 was okay. Blade 2 was Guillermo del Toro all the way.
All the way, yeah.
And Blade
Yeah.
3 was all Goyer. In fact, he directed it.
And that gives you an idea of how Goyer is. If you watch Blade 3, just like me, just like Matt here, and went, what the fuck did I just watch? I just watched...
This movie is shit.
I watched Jessica Alba...
The
Jessica Biel listening to an iPod, Ryan Reynolds being a douchebag as usual, and Blade is PMSing.
The best thing is listen to the commentary. Literally, Goyer says, yeah, Wesley Snipes just did whatever the fuck he wanted. The part where he disappears in the police station, it was Snipes told him, I'm going to disappear here. You figure out what to do.
Really?
And
that does not.
And he said,
me. "Yeah,
went to go get his sword."
Not to go off topic too much, but Wesley Snipes gave them a lot of shit on Expendables 3. They were saying that
I need a paycheck. I got tax bills to pay.
Which is funny. If you guys saw Expendables 3, he made a joke on his own behalf about the taxes thing.
Well,
he
there are a lot of in-jokes in those.
Yeah.
Like they made a joke of Chuck. They made Chuck Norris jokes in the last one, and it made a joke of Dolph Lundgren being a chemistry major, which he really is.
He really is, yeah.
Dolph Lundgren is actually really smart. He really, honestly is. The dude you think is a moron, he's not.
Yeah, Mr. I will break you.
I must break you.
I must break
Yeah, he's
break
actually
you.
Side tangent, funny
You will
story.
lose.
Someone broke into Dolph Lundgren's house and didn't know it was his house, and as soon as they saw the picture,
gosh.
they ran out, realizing whose house they broke into.
I can just imagine. Can you guys imagine? Like, here's what I pictured. By the way, I know we're going off topic, but this is funny.
Oh shit!
When that
I'm a Drago. I'm the fuck out of here.
No, listen.
You
When
will
that
break
story,
me.
listen. When that story came out, here's what I pictured in my head: burglars creeping in there like Scooby-Doo style, right? He realizes who it is. He goes to say zoinks. He looks to his right, and a chair slowly turns around, and there's Dolph Lundgren, and he says, "You will lose." You will lose, and then it's just fucking on, and then he just beats the shit out of
Lundgren
him.
wasn't even home. He wasn't even in the country at the time. That's how scary Dolph Lundgren is. People shit a brick breaking into the guy's house, and he's not even there.
I'm surprised they haven't made the Chuck Norris facts. They haven't made why you should be scared of
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Just one word. There's only one reason you need to be scared of Dolph Lundgren. He's Dolph fucking Lundgren.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah, Krypton series sounds interesting. I might tune in. It depends on what they actually go with. Now, one thing that is scaring the living bejesus out of me, and this will be a short topic.
Oh yeah,
Jaden Smith to play Static Shock. Fuck no.
I could name so many better actors to play Static Shock than Jaden fucking Smith. Okay, I mean, honest to God. I mean,
You can find a random black kid in the street that could do a better job probably than Jaden.
you know, I'm trying to think of that kid's name, but there's shit. He was his name is slipping my mind, but basically, yeah. Just come on. I mean, the guy's going to ruin it. I know he is. It's going to piss me off. Because I actually like Static Shock. Static Shock he's a fairly new hero. He's only been around less than 15 years.
Yeah, Dwayne McDuffie created him, didn't he?
Yeah, a very legendary. Yeah, he created him.
God
He
rest his
created.
soul.
Yeah, very very. It's sad he died just recently too.
Yeah.
Just
He
a
was
few years ago.
he was one of the main forces behind Justice League.
Justice
TV
League,
series.
yeah.
And he wrote a lot of really, really good episodes. Then, of course, he created Static Shock for TV, too.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and it was, it's yeah. I'd hate for someone like Jaden Smith to come in and fuck it up, but
And you know he will.
He will. Oh yeah. I can't. He doesn't have any action movies that he's done thus far. You can't see any acting ability.
Karate
coming
Kid,
out
I
of
heard,
this
wasn't
kid.
half bad.
It wasn't half bad, but you know what? I think a lot of that has to do with Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he had to have been the glue of that.
Well, I watched the behind the scenes stuff on that, and Will Smith was there the whole time. He's on the credits. Will Smith is
Jackie,
being,
you gonna make my kid look good, right?
But yeah, he was. I don't know what he was. He was like a production assistant, or he was a producer. I think
He was a producer.
I think he was a producer, right?
Because they were
but
talking
even
about for a
though-
long time that his daughter would be the lead in the Annie remake.
Oh, and that I don't even.
That didn't
think
happen.
Yeah, I didn't, and they got a different girl, but still,
Yeah, you got
You
the
know,
girl from whatchamacallit,
it's just Jamie Foxx's Daddy Warbucks. That's funny. Anyway,
that movie looks terrible.
it's. I heard it was terrible too. I heard it was terrible.
Is it out yet?
No, I heard the preview.
Oh, okay.
Thought the real whatever the people that have seen the
Didn't
for
someone
the
already
testicles.
do a hip hop remake of It's a Hard Knock Life?
Yeah, that would be Jay-Z, and that was about 10 years ago or something.
It's 20, dude.
Or 20 maybe. Yeah, it's probably
in
like
high
20
school.
years.
Yeah,
But anyway,
let's
yeah,
not let this happen, please.
Please,
be a
God.
bad
Just
rumor.
God no.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll find a better actor.
Yeah.
So.
Which this will segue us into our main topic of the night: DC versus Marvel movies. DC's in the middle of world building right now with various films on slate, and Marvel this week announced their Phase 3 plans.
Oh.
So these are movies after the Avengers 2.
That's right.
The slate that Marvel has announced coming up starting on May 6th of 2016 will include Captain America. Oh, by the way, the last movie in Phase 2 will be Ant-Man, not the Avengers.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Avengers, but yeah, it's going to be Ant-Man.
Ant-Man
And
will be
for
the
a good
Avengers.
reason.
Yeah.
And for a
It'll
good
be the
reason.
transitional movie.
Transitional, right.
So starting May 6th, 2016, we're going to have Captain America, Civil War.
Yes.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago, actually, about this probably happening. So I'm looking forward to it. Robert Downey Jr. is involved. They're going to be doing the Civil War arc. From what I heard, it won't really deal with secret identities that much. Mostly just the government trying to control the superheroes,
Exactly.
which is an interesting idea. So we'll see where that goes. November 4th, we're going to see Doctor Strange, which rumor has it Benedict Cumberbatch will be Doctor Strange, but we've heard Jaquan Phoenix. We've heard Jaquan Phoenix was close on before Comic-Con, but that didn't pan out, so who knows who's really going to be Doctor Strange at this point.
Exactly.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, that was, yeah. I don't think that's
I
going to
don't know
happen.
who you are. Get the hell off my podcast. May 5th, we're going to see, of 2017, we're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It actually changed its date.
Yep.
July 28th, 2017, Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Okay.
They said this is a very important movie for us in Phase 3. We're planning on taking Thor to another level. It picks up relieve Thor in Age of Ultron and impacts everything that comes after. They also confirmed that Hemsworth and Hiddleston will be returning as
Because
Thor
if you guys remember the end of the second Thor movie, Dark World,
it ends with Thor turning into a woman.
Very funny. No, but that's funny that happened in the comics, but we're not going to go there.
Oh, he also made
It's
Hemsworth
gonna
made a
happen.
joke about it too. He was like,
Yeah,
"What's the one
but-
thing you haven't done yet?" As Thor said, "Well, I haven't been turned into a woman yet."
But yeah, Loki secretly takes the mantle as Odin. So, and basically, what's going to happen?
Spoiler alert for those of you that haven't watched Thor: The Dark World.
And if you haven't, then what the fuck are you? What's wrong with you?
Get off this podcast. Go watch The Dark World. It's a good movie.
Yeah, Avengers 2, between Avengers 2 and Thor, pretty much from what I read as well, just want to add a side note, that not just turmoil, but a lot of shit, there's going to be a lot of time that's going to pass between, that Avengers movie and Thor, because Thor's going to go straight from that Avengers movie to the incidences that's going to happen in Ragnarok. So apparently there's going to be they didn't say exactly how many years, but maybe a handful of years, and basically Odin's going to be making a lot of fucked up decisions, which we know is obviously Loki, but of course no one in Asgard knows that. And it's going to get really I think that's going to be the best Thor movie. That's going to it's really
I've
going to be
enjoyed
good.
all of them.
I have too, but I think this one will probably top all the first two for sure.
Well,
doubt.
after Thor Ragnarok, we're going to have Black Panther.
Yep.
Mhm.
which
Nice.
allegedly we'll see Black Panther in Age of Ultron in some form.
In some
what
form or
they
manner,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
After Black Panther, we have Captain Marvel on July 6th, 2018. Captain Marvel being the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, not the Shazam Captain Marvel. I say they should
skipped-
put Shazam and Captain Marvel out of the same date and really confuse the fuck out of people.
I know, right? Oh, by the way, you skipped Avengers: Infinity War Part 1. That actually comes
my
out on
bad.
May
I'm sorry.
Jackass.
Yes, on May 4th, 2018, between Black Panther and Captain Marvel, we will have Avengers: Infinity War Part 1.
And hopefully Godzilla that year too.
Gojira!
Oh yeah, the next Godzilla is supposed to come out in 2018. That's right.
Yep.
Then Captain Marvel, followed by November 2nd, 2018, with the Inhumans.
I'm looking forward to that, man. Inhumans.
Wrapping
Can you-
that up
can-
will be
you-
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mario.
I was gonna say maybe just a brief little history for me. I've never heard the title Inhumans before.
Don't
And-
worry, no one heard about Guardians of the Galaxy either.
Okay.
And just to give you a brief, I just want to stop on that for just 1 second.
sure.
Inhumans is going to play a key role in finishing up the Infinity War.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea what the Inhumans are,
Mhm.
they're a race of superior humans that actually live on the moon.
Okay.
And
all right.
yeah, and they're secret. No one knows they're there, which they did that on purpose.
That sounds awesome.
And, yeah, and basically the way the premise goes is, oh shit, I keep forgetting the name of the mist that gives them their power, and I always forget the name of it. So just give me 2 seconds. It drives me up the wall when I remember something, and then I just at the moment I need to remember it, I fucking forget it. It drives me up the. Okay, now my browser's just fucking being gay. Okay, hold on, guys.
Atlanteans, maybe?
No. Just hold on. God damn, fuck you, Google Chrome, piece of shit. I'm gonna.
Here at
Break the
4TW, we
sh-
actually like Google. Google is our friend.
Yeah, no shit. Okay,
Fuck Apple.
so
Fuck Apple.
okay. So if you remember, do you remember seeing Guardians of the Galaxy? Right? Did you see that, Mario?
Yeah. Oh yeah, loved it.
Okay, you saw how they mentioned the aliens known as the Celestials, right?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Okay, the Celestials kind of play a key role in everything, and the Celestials have a lot to do with the Inhumans. That's why they're going to come into play, because the Inhumans, basically, they're just. Wait, did someone drop out?
No, I'm here.
Oh, it says I have a connection problem.
I think Mario dropped it.
Did he drop out?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Mario
did drop out. Fuck. Let's wait for him to come back. We need some elevator music to play whenever this. Mario, are you back?
I'm back.
You back, Mario? Okay. All
Sorry
right.
about that.
It's okay. Okay, so to continue where I left off, all right, Celestials. So anyway, because of all the stuff that happens, which is eventually going to lead to Phase 4, which is the next Avengers is going to have to do with what I think they're going to do is the Kree War between the Skrulls. It's going to spark up again. The Skrulls are going to come, which is called the Secret War, is what it's called.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But not to overload you with too much info.
Sure.
The main part about the Inhumans is what they are. And it's called the Terrigen Mist. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's a mutagen that they use to try to bring out Inhumans. We have stuff deep down inside that we can bring out with this mist to give us superpowers.
Yeah.
And they discovered this with
Is
anyway.
that kind of
it's-
what they hinted at the end of Captain
Yes.
America with
Yes.
what's his name? Baron
Right.
von Straka, whatever.
Stroker, right? He's the
Stroker.
main one that helps lead up that whole team of scientists that help discover that.
Yeah.
And that's where the Inhumans come into play, is they kind of are the end result. And anyway, the Terrigen Mist, I'm sure they're going to probably talk more about that. Probably, my guess would be, if not in this Avengers movie, more than likely it won't. It'll probably be in Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll probably hear more about that.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear more hints about them. But anyway, the main part to understand is they're like basically like mutants, like how X-Men are.
Mm-hmm.
And they're genetically changed to give superpowers, and they're a big crucial role they play in the whole Marvel universe as far as like the bigger picture goes. So
Sure.
um,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Sounds
So,
awesome.
All right.
So yeah, that's Marvel's slate coming up. Now, slight deviation here, but there's been rumors for a while that Marvel and Fox do not get along. With the recent canceling of Fantastic Fours and
Get in
the
line.
monthly series,
yeah, really.
and there being little to no toys for X-Men or Fantastic Four, or no TV shows for X-Men either. But God forbid they cancel X-Men as a comic series because it's probably their best seller or one of their best sellers.
Yep.
Do you think there's really bad blood between them and Fox? But with Sony, we don't see that as much.
No.
I don't think it's as bad as they're saying. I think it's not as good as the relationship that Sony has with Marvel. I think it's pretty clear that Sony and Marvel have a really good relationship because there have been not just rumors, confirmed reports that they have been in real talks with, the people that have to do with, the Marvel part of what they own, specifically around Spider-Man, which is why they think that it's one of the biggest secrets Marvel's trying to keep under wraps is that Spider-Man will be coming to the Marvel Universe sooner than people think. In fact, I would even predict that in the Infinity War, we will see. What the hell's playing? Sorry, guys. Some commercial or some shit. I predict honestly, Spider-Man is gonna show up in the Infinity War, either Part 1 or Part 2. It would not
Okay.
surprise me. What do you think?
Alright.
What do you think, Mario? He's like,
Well, I don't have
It's all a
to-
bunch of bullshit.
it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think
I
there's
have-
really any bad blood. I think it's just
I
it wouldn't
sort
behoove
of.
them to devalue any of their properties.
I just see it as maybe they're biding their time, but sometimes when you bite your time for too long, this happens. So people start
Exactly.
to speculate.
Yep.
Now, DC has a kind of a counter offer here. DC's lineup, from what we know of so far, includes Batman v Superman, which is coming out in a few weeks. Or, I'm sorry, next year. The next year? Or 2 years?
What did you say?
The lineup for the DC movies. The upcoming... When's Batman v Superman? That's coming up soon, right? 2016,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. 2016. Followed by Suicide Squad, also in 2016. A Wonder Woman standalone picture, which, according to what I just read today, may in fact take place in the 1920s. So
Yep.
it may be a period piece similar to Captain America.
All right.
Justice League Part 1, directed by Zack Snyder in 2017. So, hey, Justice League is going to be 2 parts, kind of like the Avengers.
Yep.
The Flash, starring Ezra Miller in 2018. Aquaman.
Boo.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa in 2018. Shazam in 2019. Justice League Part 2 in 2019. Cyborg, starring Ray Fisher in 2020. And Green Lantern in 2020. Marvel or DC's gone a little further out. But DC's also said not necessarily are all these films going to tie into the same universe. Mainly, they're talking Shazam may actually not be a part of this overall DC universe. Suicide Squad also allegedly may have what's his name's Lex Luthor in it, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor in it as well.
Yep.
Ooh.
So, and they're looking at people such as who are they looking at for Suicide Squad? They announced a few days ago. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, they were
I'm like,
looking at
dude,
him.
you're already Bane.
You're already Bane.
Pretty much.
Is
he gonna
go into the movie and talk like this all the time?
Sir, can you repeat that
Sir,
one more time?
I want to try. Yes.
You have my permission.
Excuse
to
me,
give
sir.
you a
Yeah,
lamb
you,
Big
Sean
Mac
Connery, with
and
the
a-
solo cup over your mouth.
Do you feel
the
that,
fuck you doing?
Mr. Wayne? That is the quickening.
Oh
Quickening. Oh my
my
God.
gosh.
I
just
actually have a picture I made with like Sean with Bane and Batman like touching hands in Highlander. Anyways, I got somewhere. But DC's. Do you guys think DC has a strong? Now Marvel, I think we agree, has been fairly successful. I don't think there's a bad movie in the bunch. I know people say Iron Man 2 is not very good, and some people didn't really care much for Thor 2. Me, I've loved every single movie that's came out.
Yeah, I actually thought Iron Man 3 was probably not the best one out of the three. I actually liked Iron Man 2 a lot.
Was far superior to Iron Man 2. But it was in no way a bad movie.
No.
At all.
Wasn't saying it was a bad movie. I just sort of like a couple people kind of says just the way the Mandarin kind of popped out and the way how they formulated him in this movie was that a couple people were disappointed to it. I'm like, well,
Me.
eh,
Me.
you know. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you. I mean, for the second movie, for me, I mean, yeah, you got to. I mean, for me, it was at least the introduction of a lot of the other characters, like Black Widow. Obviously, got to see the sort of the birth of War Machine until you really saw him in Iron Man 3 and such as the what they call him again, the Iron Patriot.
Iron Patriot. Hey, by the way, Mario, just want to add on to that and say for the record, the thing about the Mandarin is if they really did the Mandarin like they were supposed to, it would have really, to be perfectly honest, it would have been too big of a movie for them to be able to do. Because the Mandarin is like a bad guy. Like he's up there with Thanos. Like he's like maybe two stages down from Thanos. He's a pretty bad guy. He gets entangled up with the Avengers a few times. Not as much as Thanos or some of the other big guys, but nonetheless, Mandarin is a big character. So the way they did a one shot. Matt probably would have mentioned. I think he mentioned this on another episode. They did a one shot where Ben Kingsley's character. Yeah, he mentioned a few weeks ago. And it pretty much hints around that the real Mandarin found him is not too happy.
They broke Trevor out of prison and said, "We're here to get you because our master is pissed."
Yeah, basically you just fucked up because the real Mandarin is like, yeah, this ain't gonna fly.
By the way, the villain for Justice League Part 1 is supposedly going to be Brainiac, and for Part 2 will be Darkseid.
Interesting.
And the big
Very interesting.
And the big plot line tying all these movies together was Superman activating his ship and sending out a signal that let people know that he's there.
I'm here.
Yeah. So Superman done fucked up. So DC's. I'm a big DC guy. Cardi is Marvel for the most part. You really are.
Well, I don't know. When it comes to comics.
Yeah.
To me, it's about dead even, to be perfectly honest. When it comes to movies and stuff, Marvel all the way.
Yeah, I'm a DC guy. Through and through. Always have been, always will be. But I do like Marvel. And I have been so pissed off with the direction DC has gone in the past. So pissed off.
Movie-wise?
No, movies, TV shows.
TV shows, everything.
Okay. Now, the only thing they did good was the animated stuff. With Tim.
Yeah.
With Bruce Timm and when he did and when they did everything from Batman the Animated Series through Justice League, they were great.
Public Enemy, man. What's your favorite, by the way? What's your favorite
of all the animated movies? Mask of the Phantasm.
Mine was Public Enemy.
Mine, Mask of the Phantasm, followed by the Red Hood.
More modern Red Hood.
Yeah.
I really like First Flight. First Flight was a better Green Lantern movie than the Green Lantern movie we got.
Big time.
It was.
Yeah, it
was a far better movie.
You should see the Emerald Knight, by the way. That one's a good one
that
too.
That is Nathan Fillion doing the voice of Hellraiser.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's excellent.
One thing, I'm getting them all. It's on my list. But the thing I think that DC has done right, where Marvel failed, was Marvel tried to do animated movies, and they were awful.
They were
some of the worst shit ever. The only thing that was good, I think the new Avengers was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
With the Avengers as kids, but that was actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Decent. But that one actually had Ultron as the bad guy.
It
But,
had Ultron. Yep.
But the other ones were just terrible. Planet Hulk was terrible. All their enemy movies are god awful. But
Well, the Planet Hulk, the thing was, it followed the comics almost to a T.
oh, he didn't have a kid.
Except, well, I was just about to say, they missed the
You
crucial.
left out the big plot point.
They missed the big plot point. That's what pissed, I think, a lot of people off of Planet Hulk.
But DC's been doing it very well, and their animated movies have been, in my mind, their animated fare. I haven't seen War, and I heard War wasn't that good. Their animated fare has been better than the actual.
By the way,
films, live action.
War, just so you know what War is literally page for page the first issue of Justice League #1 for New 52.
And that's why I'll hate it, because I hate New 52.
Actually, it's the first 6 issues or something like that. Anyway, it's
arc.
the first first couple of the Justice League.
But DC needs to get their shit together.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers needs to get their shit together and fix this problem. Now, could they, with what the lineup they have, do a better job than what they have done? Possibly. I do like where they're going. Their lineup is pretty impressive. I think a bit rushed. Marvel took their time, but we'll see. But their TV shows, on the other hand, my God, DC is wiping the floor with Marvel. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not that good.
It could have been done better. I still like it.
No,
but
you can't. You can't do better because of one simple fact. Everything that happens in that show is inconsequential as a whole.
I don't.
It does not affect. They have to be careful not to affect
But
the
wait,
universe as a whole.
What if it does? What if they're
won't.
setting up for something?
It
well,
won't.
I don't know if you've been watching it recently.
I have, but the thing is, they could lead to little things that'll affect the show and the characters as a whole and the show, but to affect the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, everything that happens in the movies trickles down to that show. And that's what we've seen. And that's how it's going to go, because I think it kind of suffers from the problem of kind of like when a movie comes out and they write book sequels or comics based on the properties. You know, they could tie in, but they're not really official. Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of feels like that. It's not really official, because you never seen a single reference to that show in any of the movies that have been out since that show started.
No, but you see a reference on the other end of it. Like you see references from, like for example, when they took a break on last season's.
Okay.
They picked up right where Thor left off.
That was where they fixed the show.
But Matt, that was their intention, though. That was their intention. Maybe they didn't do it. Okay, I'll give you this. Maybe they did. I'm an advocate for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because what you're saying is what a lot of people are saying, and to be honest with you, it kind of bugs me a little bit because people are giving it shit when it doesn't deserve it, because people are not really thinking big picture. Let me give you an example. The big story arc right now is they're trying to figure out what is with this writing they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure what this is going to lead to is the alien that they have or they had that they got injected with blood from was a Celestial. That they had a Celestial. That's what I think it is. It might be the other kind, or it could be a Kree. That's a possibility.
It's Kree or blue, aren't they?
It's either. Well, they are, but in the comics, Celestials glow and they're blue. And anyway, they could. There's two ways they could go. But my point is this. You know, yes, this is like this is like their only thing. I get that, and they're definitely not where DC is right now. But if you really like, Agents of Carter is coming out, so that's going to be another series.
Looks good. That one I think will be good because that one you can do things.
You can do things with it because it's in the past, so it's stuff that isn't established necessarily with what they're doing in the movie. So I give you that.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me is hindered because it has to tie into the cinematic, to the current continuity. But
and they're holding back. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but they hold back
right.
because they can't do anything big.
They can't do nothing big because it would overshadow the movies or give away stuff. I agree with you 100%.
Exactly. And
Yep,
some
you're
people
right.
don't watch the show when they're watching the movie, so they don't want shit to happen in the show. Or you'd have to watch the show to see what happens in the movie because they know the movie's where the money's going to be made.
Gotta love
Yeah.
Joss Whedon, right? Mr. Angel, Buffy the Vampire
Vampire
Slayer.
Supposedly
Yeah,
after
Firefly.
from what I was
Fire-
told, from what I heard
Yeah.
after Avengers 2, he's done.
But
Oh,
you know
wow.
what? But I made that reference, Mario, because he always likes to have different universes in more than one story,
Yeah.
intertwined. And
I'm not a Josh Whedon, I'm not a member of Cult Whedon at all. I enjoyed
Yeah.
Buffy. I love Firefly. Angel was okay. Dollhouse was one of the most contrived, pretentious pieces of shit of television I've ever seen. How it ever lasted as long as it did was only because Joss Whedon's name was attached to it, and Fox didn't want to repeat with Firefly. But I mean, I love the Avengers, but Agents of Shield shows the cracks that Whedon usually shows, and the biggest problem he has is one, there are too many pretty people.
yeah,
Two, the storylines are hindered because of what they can do. But once they manage to actually get it to when Hydra took over, things got interesting.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh,
got
yeah.
good. But now they're right back to where they were with season 1, where you're kind of like, it's a mission to mission thing. You have little things here and there, nods to the comics. Okay, cool. That's fine. But nothing really big universe changing.
that's
You know,
why
but-
you gotta give it faith though, because I have a strong feeling that in the coming episodes, because they said the next episode they're supposed to reveal where the writings come from.
Right.
I guarantee that's going to really tell us what direction.
The
they're
other
going.
big thing is I don't think we have any Marvel movies coming up this season.
So what does that tell us? That means that
You can lead directly
they
to the
have
Avengers.
opening.
Yeah.
Well, that means they have openings to like beef it up a bit because
Oh, yeah.
they've got to prepare for Age of Ultron. You know what I would not be surprised of if they took, because remember they have a lot of episodes still to go. If it leads into Age of Ultron, because I don't know if you've seen it, but the way it seems like the movie's going to play out, that Ultron was already a concept Stark was already working on for a
Right.
while. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, who knows? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But you're right. What you were said about the movies hindering the show.
But flip
You know.
side, look at DC. Look at what DC's done. Arrow is probably the best superhero show on TV in my mind.
The Flash is a close second.
The Flash is a close second. Gotham could take that crown if it keeps going strong. Too early for me to call that. I enjoy Gotham. I love Gotham. We have a Gotham cast on the show.
Well,
by the
both of
way.
you
Got
guys
the
need to
potential for
watch
the
The
show.
Flash. Both
I
of
do
you
watch
guys.
it. I do watch
I'm
it.
on
I
episode
watched
three.
the pilot.
Mario
I'm on
needs to.
episode 2.
I'm on 3.
And I liked the pilot. It was actually very strong. The kid who plays the Flash is very good. Not too big fan of the pretty scientist lady, but
Yeah. It's all right.
Don't
a
give her
trope.
shit, man.
But I do like that JD's brother is playing the dude in the wheelchair. I like him.
Yeah.
But the and the overly effeminate dude who reminds me of the dude from Hackers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
He
the
totally
inventor,
reminds me of the dude
yeah.
from Hackers.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're right. But yeah, and by the way, I'm anxious to
Or
find
the,
out.
or the dude in Con Air.
By the way, what is your speculation as to who really is the dude in the wheelchair? Who really is that scientist?
No
who is he
idea.
really?
No idea.
By the-
Who do you think he
There's
is?
an infinite number of possibilities. He's Dr. Light.
Yeah, I think he's Doctor Light. To be honest with you, but that's
I just spit that out. I mean, he's
But
gonna
not
go
Doctor
raping.
Light, Doctor Zoom.
Oh, I was gonna say, does that mean he's gonna go
Professor
raping
Zoom.
bitches and they're gonna mind wipe Batman?
See, I think he's Professor Zoom because Professor Zoom went crazy in the future, and he's the guy who
Yeah.
kills his mother, and it would make perfect
It's not
sense.
the first time
you know?
they've used time travel to explain
Oh, yeah.
things. I mean, they did that with Young Justice, which
Yep.
was a fantastic cartoon.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
have not seen Young Justice, it's on Cartoon Net. It's on a YouTube
Netflix.
Or, Netflix.
All of the seasons too, all of them,
Both.
all the way to the end. Yeah,
Both.
both seasons.
And talk about a show that got canceled for lesser quality crap. Where
was
the Batman was shit.
Yeah,
And
I was so
Teen
mad.
Titan Go was great in shorts, but not in long form.
It's silly and funny, and they had the original voice characters come back, and
Not big
that was
fan of
great.
Teen
But
Titan Go. The only good one was the Robin driving lesson episode.
oh my god, that was so fucking funny, man! I love that
And
episode.
Robin kept driving the crook around, and yet he knew completely what was going on.
Oh man, that was funny. I like the pie episode too, where him and
The
Cyborg.
laundry day.
Yeah.
There are a few that were kind of clever, but so I think, my opinion, to wrap things up, Marvel does it right on film. DC's doing it right on TV, but for
Yeah.
some reason they can't transition.
Yep. What do you think, Mario?
I agree with everything you guys mentioned. Yeah, definitely they both got their strengths and weaknesses. You know, Marvel's done a good job in the theater, at least in the movies. Not so hot in the TV series side. I think
Well, we do-
DC has.
I'm sorry. Let's not forget too that Netflix is going to be airing Daredevil, which is going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they also have
Constantine on NBC, by the way. Don't
That's-
forget
that's
that.
DC
That's DC. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Marvel stuff. There's
Oh,
a couple
Marvel
Netflix
stuff, right.
shows coming up. There's a couple of things they're doing with Netflix. Daredevil's the first one. I think. What's the other one they're doing? They're doing something else too. I can't
Yeah,
remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember either.
They have a lineup. Netflix is doing quite a few. So I'm sorry, Mario. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What do you?
Oh no, you're good. It's all fine. I mean, but as I was just getting back on track with DC, I mean, I think DC so far, we kind of said the movies have been kind of hit or miss sometimes with the movies. TV shows, I mean, yeah, they definitely are showing very good strength on the TV shows right now. Also, they also do have that back catalog, with the animated series, and Chris and I talked about it quite a bit. That they had strong series like Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Teen Titans, Superman, Justice League, and then you had all the those independent, animated movie films that were all done well. And yet, like you just also pointed out, Matt, now we hit a wall with, Beware the Batman. We all of a sudden we made him
Going backwards.
going
Definitely
backwards.
God,
Even
that
though
movie
people,
was- that TV show is so shit.
I mean, even though I heard only slight positive things that the writing wasn't horrible, but it's like you have to get past the artwork. I'm like, well, that's the problem with Batman. If you can't make him presentable in an art form or in real life or whatever you're gonna do, you're not gonna catch the interest of anybody.
Not
What
only
about
that-
what about the Batman? What do you? Because Matt, didn't you watch a few of the episodes with your son? What was your opinion on that? Didn't you say you liked it? You said it was all right, but
that show is very middling to me. I didn't hate it, but I really couldn't dig it because
weren't they
changes
going
they
for
made I
like a
did not like.
golden age?
No,
kinda,
that's
or
Beware.
was-
That's Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold was golden age. Yeah,
Brave and the Bold was very golden or Silver Age,
Silver Age. Yeah,
very Silver Age, Dick Sprang era, and Beware the Batman was pretty good. It was very much Adam Westy, but that was what they were going for.
that's what they were going for, right?
And it wasn't bad. I actually did enjoy it. The Batman was much more of a younger take on early Batman, and they tried to revamp the Batman mythos. Joker became a giant monkey.
Yeah, I saw that.
With a straight
They even
jacket.
did a remake of the famous Dracula comic versus Batman, and that to me it fell through.
with
Yeah.
Kevin Michael Richardson doing the voice of the Joker.
Yeah, I saw
Look,
that.
I love me some Kevin Michael Richardson. He's a great voice actor. He does Shredder and Ninja Turtles, and if there's a big black guy sound like doing a voice, it's him.
Yep.
It's him.
For those of you at home, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil.
No, that's James Avery, you moron.
I know. I was waiting for him to say-
Ironically, both Shredders are played
Both
by
good
big
Shredder.
black guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Both are awesome. By the way, he's much more creepier as Uncle Phil.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did not like. I liked Tom Kenny. SpongeBob played the Penguin, and I know the Riddler is Robert Englund. playing a
Robert-
Marilyn Manson version of the Riddler, which was an interesting take.
That was
I love what
when I
they did
saw
to
Robert
Penguin,
Englund.
and I love what they did to the Riddler. But I could not forgive them for what they did to the Joker. They tried to fix it in season 2, but by that point, the damage was already done. The Batman was actually not bad. Batman the Animated Series is far and above a much better show. But the Batman wasn't bad. Beware the Batman is okay. I enjoyed it. It had things about it I did like. But I have been on the record saying I love 60s or the Silver Age Batman. So I'm not
Batman and the Brave and the Bold, you mean?
Yeah, Brave and the Bold. I love Silver Age Batman, so I'm not in any way a detractor of that. That's why I don't hate Batman and Robin.
You know what's funny? You know what's the irony of Beware of the Batman is literally in its title. It's already telling you, run away. Beware of this Batman.
No, and the show was CG'd, which the CG was bad. I mean, it was like Green Lantern show bad, which at least the Green Lantern animated series was halfway decent with storytelling. Yeah. But the stories were terrible from what I heard. I refused to watch it because of the fact they made Alfred to be some sort of thug carrying a gun. The CG looked bad. The previews made me pissed off. I understand they want to use lesser known characters to try and promote them, like Professor Pig. Which Professor Pig? That's one fucked up motherfucker. You choose him? Yeah. Wow, you had to sanitize that. And, he is a twisted motherfucker. He makes the Joker look normal. I refuse to watch it. It looks so stupid. And just bring me back to shows that I want to see. Like Young Justice was great. It was actually designed for teenagers. It was adult. People died in this show.
Yeah.
They dealt with real problems. It's what Teen Titans could have been if they wrote it for adult or for young adults. And that's what you got. That's what Young Justice was. Young Justice was proper Teen Titans. And
pretty much.
It was done by the same guy who also did Gargoyles and the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I like Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, which is also a really good one. Oh, Ultimate Spider-Man is shit. I hate that show. I hate that show.
I have a spot for that. You know, they have the guy who really does Phil Coulson do his voice in the show.
The fuck up.
He's so funny, dude. I can't help it.
No, he's not. Peter Parker doesn't run. Deadpool doesn't have that much internal monologue.
They did it in this current season. They did an episode with Deadpool.
Deadpool tell me talks too much?
Yes, he did. Oh,
I have to watch that one.
You got to watch it. Download it. Because he did. He talks shit back to Spider-Man. It's so funny. They go back and forth. It's one of the funniest episodes.
I hate Ultimate Spider-Man. There are things about it I like. It has Coulson, yeah. From the actual movie in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Gehrig in it.
Yeah, which is nice.
I'm not digging it. And I haven't seen the new Avengers show. I don't know if that's good or not.
I watched a few of them. It's okay.
Was it Avengers Assemble, I think it's called?
Avengers Assemble. It actually is pretty good. Even little Chris likes it. I watched the first season with them. Yeah. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Disney's doing some good stuff with their properties.
They're getting better.
Is good. Yeah. I heard Rebels was great. So overall, nice. I like DC's TV, but not Marvel. And I love Marvel's movies, but reversed, it can be iffy.
Okay, we're beating a dead horse here, and I know Mario's got to go, so let's wrap this up.
Wrap this up. All right, Mario, what are you recommending to us this week? I have a feeling I know what it is.
Already too late. Yeah, Bayonetta. Everybody, come on. Try the darn game out. Give the lady some love.
Yeah, she saw this out.
Whoa. Chris, do you have any recommendations this week?
My recommendations are, let's see. You know, because it's Halloween, I'm going to say this. I'll just put it on TV there for you. Halloween. Oh. See them. See all of them. Except
Resurrection.
Except that motherfucker right there. The one right next to
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
That one right there. Yeah, Busta Rhymes can kiss my ass. Anyway.
It may be 6.
Matt, what's your recommendation? I think we already know what your recommendation
X-Wing and TIE Fighter. If you can only afford one, get TIE Fighter. But buy them both.
Absolutely.
They're each $9.99 on GOG. So get them now. Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me at
McDonald's.
4TW Network and Screw You Hippie.
Oh, I'm sorry. When Domino's. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll have. You suck, man. I'll have an episode. I'll have actually a better address for. I have a website for my publishings and stuff because I write. I'll have a new address by next episode. So, but for now, it's 4twnetwork.com.
All right. Now they can find me on Facebook at Mario Benegas, and we're still working on other things to find me at.
Yeah.
And you can find me at AdmiralJoker.com and on 4TWNetwork.com. Be sure to check out our forums at 4TW.com/forums. Once Cardi actually managed to get some stuff done with that.
Yeah, I'll work on that this weekend. Promise.
But it is up. It is running. It does work. Please go there. Talk about the episode. And be sure to check out our chat for 4TW Live. Or be sure to check out our Twitch channel as well at twitch.4TWNetwork. We will probably be broadcasting every Thursday. Also, we're going to be doing a live stream of Alien Isolation this Saturday, probably at about 7 o'clock EST, so make sure you're there. I will also be live streaming me playing the original Legend of Zelda sometime this weekend for a future review for the new show called Joker Takes. So, for Chris Cardi Kovacs, Super Mario Cryonova Benega, see like what I did there? And I am Matthew Admiral Joker Macheski. You guys have a good night.
Yep, see you guys.
Night.
And I got to piss like a racing horse.